And good morning, everybody. This is a quick review of the timeline and the major events of World War One. You will have to read the text to get some of the details in between, and we'll also be having a discussion about them at times. But this chart, you need to know it. You need to know kind of the major events of World War One. So this is loaded into the textbook. I would keep it with you, and I would make sure that you have this information in the back of your mind. Keep it in a place. Know where it is. Know how to find it. Maybe even make a picture of it to refer to. Some of the key events in June of 1914. The Archduke, the prince who was going to take over the throne, Archduke Francis Ferdinand, and his wife are killed in Sarajevo, which was a territory under control of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. This was a satellite country of the empire. It was Austro-Hungary had an empire. They were imperialistic, and they exercised control over this region. Obviously, there was some discontent. It was called Serbia. Serbia has as recent as 20, 30 years, went through a horrible civil war. This region is called the Balkans. It's called the Balkans because it's balkanized. It's split up among religious and ethnic groups, and they really dislike each other intensely. So there's constant problems in this area, and Austria-Hungary inherited these problems. Austria reacts and invades Serbia, and this sets a chain of events. They want to punish Serbia. Serbia says, "We're sorry. It's not us. We'll change things." And Austria said, "Not enough." They want to send a lesson. And what happens is it's like a domino effect. Russia is an ally, is a friend of Serbia, and they mobilize, which means they're ready to go to war. Austria is ready to go to war, and then Germany mobilizes because Austria is Germany's best, most reliable ally. France and England mobilize and declare war, and each declare war on each other. And the war breaks out in August of 1914. It's called the Guns of August. In 1916, by this time, the warfare has become horrible. 2 million soldiers are killed in the battles of Verdun, the Somme, and Gallipoli. My uncle, my great-great-uncle, was a French soldier, and he fought at the Battle of Verdun. My dad used to tell me stories that he knew about it. In 1917, the United States joins very late in the war over the sinking of the Lusitania, and we touched on that yesterday about Allied ships being sunk by German U-boats because they were bringing supplies. Now, the Lusitania was not necessarily a supply cargo ship. It was a passenger line, and a lot of Americans were killed in it. America declares war on Germany. But America was aiding France and England and saying we're neutral. So that's why Germany felt they were fair game. Russia suffers horribly in World War I and goes through a revolution. They go through 2 revolutions in October and then later on, the Red Revolution. It was called the Red Storm. Russia is knocked out of the war because of the revolution, and eventually it changes. It has its own civil war it goes through, which is a horrible, horrible civil war. An armistice is signed, and Germany ends the war. Germany can no longer face the war. Austria-Hungary has been pretty much beat up to death. Russia's been eliminated, who was an ally, but France, England, and with the help, of course, of the United States, who were fresh, they overwhelmed Germany. And they agreed to the Treaty of Versailles, which is a very harsh treaty on Germany. And it sows the seeds for World War II. German resentment over this harsh and punitive treaty in a war that was really a domino effect of starting with something totally unrelated. Sows the seeds for World War II. Meanwhile, in Russia, a civil war is going on this whole time. And in the end, the communists win. The Reds defeat what are called the Whites. The Whites support the Tsar. The Reds are communists, and in 1922, the Reds take over. And then, within the next 20 years, the communists kill about 20 million Russians. So it was a change, and a very violent change. You had millions of people dying throughout this whole time in the war. And then after the war, about 20 million people, it's estimated, were killed by the communists, or imprisoned. That's your timeline. All right? You need to know it. Keep this, bookmark the page, watch the video, make sure you know where it is. We'll see you in class shortly. Have a great day.